Duha sat on the red grass of New Seoul, her small hands carefully weaving together the strange blue flowers that grew everywhere on this new world. At 7 years old, she had never seen Earth, but her parents often told her stories about the green grass and white flowers of their homeland. Looking up at the twin suns in the purple sky, she watched as transport ships moved between the gleaming buildings of the colony. Some carried humans, others held the many alien species that had become part of daily life on New Seoul. Duha loved watching them all, especially the sparkly trails they left behind. Duha, time for dinner. Her mother, Dr. Jae-yun, called from their home's porch. The house was a mix of traditional Korean architecture and modern space colony design, with clear dome sections that let them see the stars at night. "Coming, Mom." Duha gathered her flower crown and ran toward the house. Her shoes lit up with each step, a gift from her father's last trip to Earth. Inside, she found both her parents at the dinner table. Her father, Dr. Tadawon, was still wearing his lab coat covered in colorful stains from his work with alien plants. "How was school today?" Tadawon asked, serving rice into bowls. The food was a mix of traditional Korean dishes and new recipes made with local ingredients. "We had 2 new students today." Duha's eyes lit up. One is a bright wing. Their skin glows when they're happy. The other looks like a big friendly cloud. They were scared at first, but I shared my lunch with them. Jae-yun smiled proudly. "That's wonderful, sweetheart. Making friends with other species is very important for our future together." The bright wing said their name is something like singing. Duha tried to make a musical sound, but I can't say it right. They said I could call them Sky. "That's why your mother's work is so important," Taiwan explained. "She helps different species understand each other better." Duha nodded, her mouth full of food. She knew her mother worked with the Stellar Alliance, the big group of alien species that helped everyone get along. Her father studied alien plants to help feed all the different beings living on New Seoul. After dinner, Duha went to her favorite spot, the observatory room on the top floor. The clear walls and ceiling let her see everything. Ships of all sizes and shapes moved through the evening sky. Some looked like shining fish, others like floating crystals. Each one carried beings from different worlds, all coming to New Seoul to live and work together. In the distance, she could see the Great Peace Bridge, a massive structure that connected the human and alien sections of the city. It glowed with thousands of lights, changing colors to welcome different species. Duha often went there with her class to meet children from other worlds. "Time for bed, little star." Jae-yun came up behind her daughter. "Mom, why did you and Dad choose to come here?" Duha asked, still watching the ships. Jae-yun sat beside her daughter. "Because we believe that humans could do more than just explore space. We could help make it better for everyone. And look at you. You're already doing that by making friends with children from other worlds." Duha hugged her mother. "Tomorrow is the Friendship Festival. Can I wear my special hanbok?" "Of course. It's a big day for everyone." Jae-yun tucked her daughter into bed, not knowing that tomorrow would change everything, not just for their family, but for all of humanity. As Duha drifted off to sleep, the lights of passing ships cast gentle shadows on her walls. In her dreams, she saw herself walking on the Peace Bridge, holding hands with friends from 100 different worlds, all of them dancing under the purple sky of their shared home. The Friendship Festival filled the Peace Bridge with colors and sounds from 100 worlds. Duha walked between the stalls in her bright hanbok, her father holding one hand while she waved at alien children with the other. The air smelled of foods from different planets, and music from many cultures mixed together in the warm afternoon. "Look, Dad, Sky is here." Duha pointed at her bright-winged classmate, whose skin glowed yellow with happiness. Next to Sky stood a being that looked like moving water in the shape of a child, another of Duha's friends named Pool. Taewon smiled as his daughter ran to join her friends. He watched them play a game where they tried to copy each other's movements, their laughter needing no translation. Jai Yun was somewhere in the festival too, meeting with Stellar Alliance members about new peace treaties. That's when the first explosion hit. The sound was like thunder, but louder. The peace bridge shook. Duha fell, and Skyglow turned dark blue with fear. Above them, strange ships appeared in the purple sky. They were black and sharp, nothing like the friendly vessels Duha usually saw. They looked like angry knives cutting through clouds. Everyone inside. Ta-One shouted, running toward his daughter. But more explosions came. The air filled with screams in many languages. Dark figures dropped from the ships. They were tall, with armor that seemed to eat light. These were the Void Hunters, a species that hated the peace between worlds. Duha had only heard stories about them, like monsters in a bedtime tale. But now, they were real, and they were hurting people. Sky, Pool, this way. Duha grabbed her friend's hands. She knew a safe place, a small space under one of the bridge's decorative arches where she often played. The three children ran as chaos erupted around them. They almost made it. A Void Hunter stepped in their path. Its helmet had no face, just a dark surface that reflected their scared expressions. Skyglow turned almost white with terror. Pool began to lose their shape. Stop hurting everyone. Duha shouted at the Void Hunter. She stood in front of her friends, arms spread wide. Even scared, she remembered what her mother taught her, that everyone, even bad people, could listen if you were brave enough to talk. The Void Hunter tilted its head. It spoke in a voice like rocks falling. The human child is not afraid. More Void Hunters gathered. They spoke to each other in harsh sounds. Duha didn't understand their words, but she knew they were surprise. Nobody had ever told her, but humans were the newest species in space. They were supposed to be weak, afraid. Take the human child, one Void Hunter ordered. The others are worthless. Everything happened very fast after that. Duha felt cold hands grab her. She heard her father screaming her name. Skyglow turned red, a color Duha had never seen before. Pool stretched their water-like body to try to pull her back. But the Void Hunters were stronger. They lifted Duha up toward their ships. Below, she saw her father fighting to reach her, but more Void Hunters held him back. She saw her mother running across the bridge, her diplomatic robes flying behind her like wings. Mom, Dad. Duha's voice was lost in the noise of engines and screams. The last thing she saw before the ship's dark door closed was the peace bridge, now burning in places, its beautiful lights broken. The Friendship Festival's decorations floated away like sad, colorful birds. Inside the Void Hunter ship, Duha made herself stop crying. She remembered another thing her mother taught her. Sometimes being brave meant being scared but not giving up. She would be brave. She would find a way home. She didn't know that at that moment, her capture was already sending waves through space, waves that would wake a sleeping giant called Earth. Admiral Sanghun stood on the bridge of Earth's largest warship, the Thunder's Wrath. His hands gripped the command rail as he watched the emergency message from New Sol play again. On the screen, Duha's parents begged for help, their faces marked with tears and burns from the attack. The Admiral touched the small pendant on his uniform, a gift from his own daughter before she died years ago. She would have been Duha's age now. Sir, his second-in-command spoke softly. All Earth Fleet commanders are online. Sanghun nodded. Around him, hidden screens lit up with faces of other ship captains. Some were in deep space. Others were rising from secret bases on Earth, Mars, and the Moon. For 20 years, humanity had shown the galaxy only its peaceful ships. But they had built others, just in case. The Void Hunters believe we are weak. Sanghun's voice filled every Earth ship in the system. They think we hide our children because we fear war. They are wrong. We hide our children because we know what we become when they are threatened. In orbit around Earth, huge ship doors opened in what looked like empty space. Inside these hidden docks, warships waited. Their dark metal hulls absorbed light. Their weapons were unlike anything the Stellar Alliance had seen. Captain Haenul, Sang-hoon called to one of the screen faces, "Your stealth ship will lead the search. The Silent Thunder is our fastest vessel." Haenul saluted. Her ship was special. It could hide so well that even other Earth ships sometimes lost it on their screens. "We'll find her, sir." "All ships, launch now," Sang-hoon ordered. "Show the galaxy why Earth's children play in peace, because their parents stand ready for war." Across the solar system, Earth's hidden fleet rose. Some ships were huge, like floating cities made for war. Others were small and quick, made to slip through enemy lines. All of them had been built with one purpose: to protect humanity if the peace ever failed. On the Stellar Alliance's main world, Earth's ambassador walked into the great meeting hall. The alien leaders fell quiet as he entered. Many had never seen a human look so cold. "The Void Hunters have taken one of our children," the ambassador's words echoed in the quiet room. "You know where they hide. You have always known. Tell us now, or learn why Earth's peace was a choice, not a weakness." The alien leaders looked at each other. Many had thought humans were too young, too soft for real power in space. Now they saw their mistake. In the sky above them, Earth ships appeared from nowhere, their weapons bright and ready. "We will help," the Alliance leader said quickly. "We did not know they would dare take a child." Back on the Thunder's Wrath, Sang-hoon received the Alliance's star maps showing all known Void Hunter bases. He sent them to every Earth ship, but his eyes stayed on Haenul's Silent Thunder. The stealth ship was already moving, hunting for any sign of Dua. "Hold on, little one," Sang-hoon whispered. "Earth has not forgotten you." In her quarters, Captain Haenul studied the picture of Dua from her school files. The little girl smiled at the camera, her hands making a peace sign. Next to her stood her alien friends, all of them happy and safe. That was the future Earth had wanted: species living together, children growing up without fear. "Crew, ready for stealth jump," Haenul ordered. Her ship's engines hummed softly as they prepared to chase the Void Hunters. "We're bringing her home." The Earth fleet spread across space like a storm about to break. They had hidden their strength to give peace a chance. Now they would show the galaxy why humans were not to be underestimated, especially when they fought for their children. Captain Haenul's Silent Thunder moved through space like a shadow. 3 days had passed since the attack on New Sol. Her crew watched their screens as a Void Hunter supply ship passed nearby, not seeing them. "Track them," Haenul ordered softly. "They might lead us to their base." In the ship's computer room, Lieutenant Sunmei worked with her team to break Void Hunter codes, screens filled with strange symbols around them. Then, a small sound made everyone stop. "Captain," Sunmei called through the ship's comm. "We're getting a signal. It's weak, but it's using human science patterns." Haenul rushed to the computer room. On the main screen, simple dots and lines blinked in a pattern. "Show me where it's coming from." Sunmei pointed to a star map. "Here, but it's strange. The signal is using old research codes, the kind Dr. Taiwan used in his plant studies." Haenul smiled for the first time in days. "Duha must have learned them from her father. She's telling us where she is." Across space, 3 more Earth ships picked up the same signal. Major Kita's Special Forces team was closest. Their ship, Swiftblade, changed course to follow it. On the Void Hunter ship, Duha sat in her cell, using a small piece of equipment she had taken from her pocket during the festival. It was her father's old research tool, something he used to study plant signals. Now she used it to tap out simple messages, just like he had taught her for fun. A Void Hunter guard walked past her cell. Duha quickly hid the device in her sleeve. She had learned that the guards never looked too closely at her. They thought human children were stupid and weak. That was their mistake. Back on Silent Thunder, Haenul's crew tracked both the supply ship and Duha's signal. They led to different places. "It's a trap," Major Kita's voice came through the secure channel. "They're moving her between ships to confuse us." Then we'll follow them all. Haynul decided. She sent orders to the Earth fleet. Each suspicious ship would be tracked by Earth vessels in stealth mode. In the Stellar Alliance Council, more secrets came out. A young alien diplomat revealed that the Void Hunters had bases inside Alliance space. They had been allowed to stay as long as they only attacked faraway colonies. Admiral Sanghun's voice was cold when he heard this news. You let them hurt innocent people just to keep peace with monsters. The Alliance leaders looked ashamed. On their screens, they watched as more Earth ships appeared from nowhere. Humanity's fleet was bigger than anyone had guessed. We found another signal. Sunmai called out. This time, Duha's message was clearer. She had found a better spot to send from. She's telling us about the ship she's on. Sunmai explained. 5 levels, many guards, near a red space cloud. Haynul looked at her star charts. The Crimson Nebula. There's only one Void Hunter base in that region, big enough to have 5 levels. Major Kita's team was already moving. We'll enter the nebula from the south. Silent Thunder can take the north. We'll catch them in the middle. Duha sent one more signal before hiding her device again. On Earth ships across space, crews worked to decode it. When they did, many smiled. The message was simple. Bad guys not so smart. Coming home soon. Haynul ordered her ship to full speed, heading toward the red clouds of the nebula. They had found their target. Now came the hard part, getting Duha back without starting a war that would destroy everything. But if the Void Hunters forced that choice, Earth's fleet was ready. They had hidden their strength for years. Now, they would show the galaxy what happened when someone hurt a human child. Lieutenant Sunma stared at her computer screen as new data poured in. Duha's signals had stopped 6 hours ago. Now the Void Hunters were moving their ships in strange patterns near the Crimson Nebula. They know we're coming, Sunmai told Captain Haynul. But they don't know how we fight. Haynul nodded and pressed the ship-wide comm button. All crews, show them what Earth can do. The Silent Thunder changed. Its dark hull seemed to disappear completely. Special panels that had stayed hidden for years opened up, revealing weapons unlike anything the Void Hunters had seen before. Nearby, 3 Void Hunter ships searched the empty space. Their sensors showed nothing. Then one of their ships exploded. How? A Void Hunter commander demanded over their common channel. There is nothing there. Haynul's voice answered them. You took a child of Earth. Did you think we would stay hidden forever? Inside the Void Hunter base in the nebula, Duha felt the station shake. She was no longer in a cell. A young Void Hunter named Ash had moved her to a small room near the command center 3 days ago. Ash was different from the others. She was part of a younger group of Void Hunters who didn't want to fight anymore. She had been kind to Duha, bringing her better food and telling her stories about her own people. Your people are coming. Ash told Duha now. But our leaders will not give you up easily. They fear looking weak. Duha looked out a small window at the red clouds of the nebula. They already look weak. Only weak people hurt children. In space, more Earth ships appeared. They used technology that made Void Hunter weapons stop working. Their hulls absorbed energy attacks like they were nothing. Years of peaceful trading had hidden Earth's real progress. Admiral Sanghun's voice reached every ship in the area. This is your final warning. Return the human child. The Void Hunter leaders answered by launching more ships. But something unexpected happened. 3 of their ships turned their weapons against their own kind. We stand with Earth, a young Void Hunter captain announced. This war against children must end. The space around the nebula turned into chaos. Void Hunter fought Void Hunter. Earth ships protected those who joined their side. The Stellar Alliance, watching from afar, finally made their choice. Earth is right, the Alliance leader announced. We will no longer stay quiet. All Alliance ships help protect the human child. Inside the base, Ash made a decision. She grabbed Duha's hand. Come. I know a way to my own ship. We can get you out. But as they ran through the corridors, the station shook harder. Someone had fired on the wrong target. A civilian section of the station, full of Void Hunter families, began to break apart. Duha stopped running. We have to help them. Ash stared at the human child. Even now, even after everything, she wanted to help her captors' families. This is why we were wrong about humans, Ash said softly. She pressed her comm device. This is Ash of the Young Guard. Human ships, hold your fire on Section 7. There are children here, our children. Captain Haynul's voice came back instantly. All Earth ships, protect Section 7. Major Kite's teams will help evacuate. The battle paused as Earth ships helped save Void Hunter families. Duha and Ash worked together, guiding young ones to safety. Some of the oldest Void Hunter warriors watched in confusion. Their enemies were saving their children. We were wrong, one old warrior said. The humans are not weak. They are strong enough to be kind even in war. But not everyone agreed. In the center of the base, the most hardened Void Hunter leaders prepared their final attack. They would not surrender to the species they had wrongly judged. The Crimson Nebula lit up like a storm as the final battle began. The old Void Hunter leaders had triggered their biggest weapons. They fired dark energy beams at everything. Their own rebel ships, Earth vessels, even the damaged station sections with families still inside. Protect the evacuation ships, Admiral Sang-hoon ordered. Earth's warships moved into defensive positions, their advanced shields glowing as they took hits meant for the escaping civilian vessels. Inside the station, Duha and Ash led another group of young Void Hunters toward the escape pods. The station's halls flashed with red warning lights. The floor shook with each new explosion. Almost there, Ash encouraged the scared children. Some were as young as Duha, their first time seeing the true cost of their elders' hatred. Suddenly, Major Kitai and his Earth Special Forces team appeared around a corner. They raised their weapons, then quickly lowered them when they saw the children. Duha, Kita called out, "We're here to take you home." But Duha stood in front of her group of Void Hunter children. "We have to save them first. They're just like me. They never wanted this fight." Kita looked at his team, then at the scared young faces. He nodded and spoke into his comm. "Team 2, we need more evacuation support. We have children here." In space, Captain Haynul's Silent Thunder faced 3 large Void Hunter warships. They were the biggest ships the enemy had, commanded by the oldest and angriest leaders. "Your weakness for children will destroy you." The Void Hunter commander's voice boomed through all channels. Haynul's response was calm. "Our love for children makes us strong enough to protect all children, even yours." The Silent Thunder disappeared from view. The Void Hunter ships fired everywhere, trying to hit what they couldn't see. Then Haynul's ship reappeared, right between their ships. New kinds of weapons activated, sending out waves that made the Void Hunter ships' engines stop working. "Earth ships, move in," Admiral Sang-hoon commanded. The entire Earth fleet appeared, surrounding the disabled enemy vessels. "Surrender, and we will spare your crews." Back on the station, Duha's group reached the evacuation area. Earth soldiers and young Void Hunter rebels worked together, loading families into escape pods. But the station was breaking apart faster now. "The main reactor is going critical," Ash reported, checking a computer panel. The old leaders would rather destroy everything than admit they were wrong. Major Kita picked up Duha. "Time to go, brave one. You've saved enough lives today." As they ran to the last escape ships, Duha saw something that made her shout, "Wait!" Through a window, she spotted the old Void Hunter leaders running to their secret escape pod. "They'll just keep hurting people," she said. Kitai understood. He quickly told Captain Haynul where the leaders were going. The Silent Thunder was waiting when their pod launched. The station exploded behind them as the last escape pod carrying Duha, Ash, and the others launched into space. The explosion's light mixed with the red clouds of the nebula, creating a strange, beautiful display. Earth ships gathered all the escape pods, protecting them from debris. On the silent Thunder's bridge, Haynewell watched as the old Void Hunter leaders were taken into custody. "The children are safe," Major Kite reported. "All of them." Admiral Sanghoon's voice was thick with emotion as he spoke to all ships. "Let this be remembered. Earth's strength is not in our weapons. It is in knowing when to use them, and when to open our arms instead." Duha, sitting with her new friend Ash and the other young Void Hunters, watched through a window as Earth's fleet gathered around them. They had won not just through force, but through something stronger, the choice to protect all children, no matter whose they were. 3 months after the battle at the Crimson Nebula, Duha stood on the rebuilt Peace Bridge of New Sol. The twin suns shined down on a very different galaxy than before. She held her mother's hand as they waited for special visitors. "Are they here yet?" Duha asked, bouncing on her toes. She wore her favorite hanbok, the one she had worn on that first dangerous day, now fixed and cleaned. "Almost," Jai-Yun smiled, looking at the sky. Her diplomatic robes now carried a new symbol, a child's hand reaching up to the stars, the new sign of Earth's Interspecies Peace Council. Ships appeared above the bridge, Earth vessels escorting a group of sleek black ships. But these weren't the scary Void Hunter ships from before. These were the new ships of the Reformed Hunter Alliance, led by the younger generation who had chosen peace. Ash was the first to step onto the bridge. She looked different now, her dark armor replaced with a uniform that mixed Void Hunter and Earth designs. Behind her came other young hunters who had helped save their own children during the battle. "Duha," Ash called out, kneeling to hug the little girl. "The other children miss you." "They don't have to," Duha said with a big smile. "Show her, Mom." Jai-Yun stepped forward and activated a large screen on the bridge. It showed plans for a new school, one that would teach children from all species, including the former Void Hunters. The building design looked like a mix of styles from every culture. "The children you helped save will be among our first students," Jai-Yun explained to Ash. "Earth believes the best way forward is to let our children grow up together." Admiral Sanghoon appeared next, walking with Duha's father Taiwan. The Admiral's uniform had changed too. Less military decorations, more symbols of peace. "The Hunter children have already started learning with Earth teachers," Sanghoon reported. "They're especially interested in Dr. Taiwan's biology classes." Taiwan laughed. "They love learning about how things grow. Maybe because they never had gardens on their warships before." More people gathered on the bridge. Captain Haynewell, Lieutenant Sunme, Major Kita, and representatives from the Stellar Alliance. They were all here for the signing of the new peace accords. "Duha," Ash said seriously, "would you like to sign first? None of this would have happened without you." Duha walked to the document. Instead of just signing her name, she drew a small picture. Children of different species holding hands in a circle. One by one, the adults signed around her drawing. "What happens to the old hunter leaders?" Duha asked quietly. "They're learning," Sanghoon answered. "We gave them a choice: stay locked away, or help teach others about why peace is better than war." Most of them chose to teach. The ceremony ended with something new. Children from Earth, the Reformed Hunters, and the Stellar Alliance releasing lights into the sky together. The lights mixed with the colors of New Sol's twin suns, creating a beautiful display. Later that evening, Duha sat in her favorite spot in the observatory room. But she wasn't alone now. Ash sat with her, along with Sky, Pool, and new friends from the Reformed Hunter families. "Tell us the story again," one of the young hunters asked. "About how you weren't afraid." "I was afraid," Duha corrected them. "But Mom always said being brave isn't about not being scared. It's about doing the right thing even when you are scared." Outside, ships from all species flew peacefully through the purple sky. The Peace Bridge glowed with its many colors again. But now it stood for something stronger, Not just peace through politeness, but peace through understanding. Earth had shown the galaxy its strength, but in the end, its greatest power hadn't come from its hidden fleet or advanced weapons. It had come from a child who saw past fear to find friends among enemies. That was humanity's true strength. The power to change the future by protecting all children, no matter where they came from.